Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Chloe Oracle. Today we're going to be reviewing the Oracle of Pluto, a 55 card exploration of the undiscovered self. This is written by Aubrey Houdeshell, pardon my pronunciation of course, and illustrated, again pardon my pronunciation, by Rose Ides. So this one is RP Studio, which is running press. Okay. And it features different like scorpionic, shadow work, Plutonian type archetypes. So it says, get in touch with your deepest self using shadow work as your guide. Shadow work is the exploration of the darker side of oneself and the world. It's a powerful tool for self-transformation and exploration. Using Plutonian archetypes and ethereal shadow puppet-inspired figures, author Aubrey Houdeshell and illustrator Rose Ides guide you through this potent process of personal revolution. So the cards are going to feature archetypes like the crow and the tiger, illustrated cards and interpretations, sample spreads. Okay. So I did pick this up during Scorpio season, and I am a very, very Plutonian person. I have my moon in the 8th house. I have 3 placements in the sign of Scorpio, including their ruling planets Mars and Pluto, and one is in a conjunction with Saturn that squares my sun. So I am very much identified with the Plutonian archetypes. I'm very much someone who identifies as a very like scorpionic person, right? So I was very, 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 very excited about this deck coming out. I wasn't able to find a walkthrough before I purchased the deck, but I really wanted to support the creator, and I love the idea of what the concept of this whole project, right? And I think a lot of times that's just it for us, right? Wanting to support the creator, loving the concept, that's enough to maybe go ahead and make the purchase, especially when we're looking at decks, that are around $20, right? So I do have some issues, y'all. I got some issues with this one. I really wanted to love it. I had high expectations. And I want to be clear that it's not even necessarily criticism of the creators, because I mean, I love the concept, and this is clearly the concept of the creators, right? But I feel like over time, as these review videos have evolved and what I've seen myself on YouTube, on TarotTube, the more YouTubers or the people, who are making these review videos, they receive decks from publishers, from creators. It just seems like things have gone in a direction, or like when there's the potential that one day they will, right? So things have gone in a direction, y'all, where people aren't necessarily wanting to give honest reviews or be critical. So this is problematic, in my opinion. Okay, so when I talk about my criticisms of this deck, I want to make sure that I have the utmost respect for the creators, and a lot of my criticism probably relates more to the publisher and the editors, and how they decided to bring this project into completion. That said, I don't resonate with the artwork, so just to hold space and to be honest about that as well too. So it's got this magnetic closure. So like so far so good, and it's not huge. The cards are tarot shaped, which is my favorite size and shape. Amazing cards. But they have this like little flap that you're expected to like put the back page of the book to kind of like hold it in there. So that's just not a good idea. I'm not sure why they would have ever done that. I have found that I can just put the book in and close it, and it goes kind of in the same spot there, and then it's not you know, bending the book at all or having to like, you know, ruin the corners, reinserting it into this flap. So that's super weird. And then the pocket for the cards as well. Like I don't know why they have reinvented the box. Right? The size is great. The magnetic clasp is cool. But yeah, just the fact that you have to put the cards back into this envelope. And then, I mean, I've got a workaround for like the book, obviously. But yeah, the box is not great. There was no need to reinvent the box for this deck. Okay, so 55 cards. I love the borders. They have, you know, the Pluto symbol, and the colors are really cool. Like the sort of like black light color scheme going on here, right? And then they're all like animals, right? World. Okay, so maybe they're not all animals. I feel like for the most part, they're animal archetypes. And honestly, when I pull a card and I look it up in the book, because this is not something I've been able to read intuitively, the messages are good. Like this writer, Aubrey Houdeshell, is extremely talented, and she knows her archetypes, and what she's writing about them in the book are good. And I'll share an example with you. However, the cards aren't numbered and they're not in alphabetical order. So to look it up in the book is quite time consuming and potentially frustrating for someone. And for me, they're not necessarily, oh, nice nails, by the way. They're not necessarily easy to read intuitively. So I am, you know, wanting to check the guidebook, right? So let's pull a card just as an example. So we've got 55 primarily animal archetypes, but of course we have things like the world, we have things like the shadow. So I love the concept, and I love the colors, and I love the cards, but the publisher, you know, that they chose not to include numbers on the cards, and then to take that, you know, insanity even further, not putting the entries alphabetical in the guidebook. Why ever would it not be arranged alphabetically? So reading with the deck is so frustrating then that, you know, you don't want to do that. So the cards have a nice rose petal finish. And as I said, I love the, you know, Pluto symbols in the frame, like the black, black borders are really cool, very scorpionic. We have, of course, the Scorpio here, and like this beautiful detail as well too. It looks like they're maybe under the sea. Scorpio in astrology is obviously, you know, fixed water, that deep blue sea. So let's pull a card. So potentially, you know, a message for, you know, you if you're tuning in, or we could say like a message for the collective. Let's pull a card here to see what kind of message we're getting. Oracle of Pluto, what do you want us to know? Okay, so we have the Devil card. Now, how they have this set up creatively, it is an interesting concept because it's like shadows, right? Shadow work, okay? So with the hands, then they're casting the shadow here of the devil is what we're saying. So I don't like how this looks, but I wanted to support the project, and the messages are quite good. So going into this, I wasn't sure that I would like the art style. And then the fact that I'm not able to easily find the entry in the guidebook, it just sort of like exasperates that frustration. So I haven't used it too much, even though I was planning on, doing a deep dive this winter. Okay, this deck is dedicated to anyone who has dared to traverse their inner landscape and unearth the power that lay dormant there. Okay, so this is published in August 2023. I picked it up in autumn. So yeah, they also take time to put the cards in their order here. So like the first entry is the goat, the second one's whitetail, then house cat. So let's see if we can see devil here. Okay, there's the devil. It's going to be after skunk and before alligator. All right, so let's see if we can find the devil. Yeah, so this is this visual table of contents, which is, you know, I'm not mad about them including it. And of course, you know, I love the colors in the book, the paper. So it starts with whitetail, which is not number 1. As I shared, there's no numbers. So we've got, you know, a page and a half entry. Yeah, I guess it's about a page and a half entry for each one. World, friend, wolf, and then sometimes it'll show a nice picture or a picture of the hands doing the shadow puppet. Salamander, snake. I think it was by skunk. It said, was that right? So the pages are numbered. The pages do have numbers, by the way. So they know of numbers. They know that numbers exist and are in sequence. Yeah, so no, there's not even out of alphabetical order do they have a table of contents where we can go and see what page the devil is on. Have we skipped it? Like, so you go page by page. If you wanna read about your card. And I sincerely hope that it is coming across that my frustration or disappointment is not at all with the concept or the creator of this deck, or the woman who, you know, who wrote this book, but how the publisher chose to present this to us. I mean, starting with the box is like super red flaggy. Skunk, I remember it was by skunk. Here we are, devil. So page 42. Page 42 is the devil, just so we're all aware of that. All right, so here's the card. Let's see what kind of, what kind of message we're getting here. Addiction, abuse, aggression, and control. Okay, so that sounds a bit like the tarot, the devil in the tarot system. So yeah, maybe I didn't need to look it up, but I don't know. There's things like goose and mongoose and whitetail, and I'm not familiar with those as tarot archetypes. So just like a few others in the deck, the devil is a special card representing more of a mythical creature or concept. Should the devil card appear in your reading, there is something sinister at play that requires total, ruthless honesty on your end. This card is a call to get real about the patterns, behaviors, or cycles you're perpetuating that are unhealthy. This, in a way, is the very essence of shadow work. As a byproduct of life, each of us inevitably has at least a few ways which we tend to self-sabotage. This is the moment to name them. Addiction, abuse, codependency, something else? How are you engaging in and perpetuating this pattern now? So obviously I reflect on myself, you know, what's coming up, creating this video. But I don't think we should be bypassing, you know, our accurate interpretations of these products that we've purchased. I feel like it used to be okay to speak critically about a deck. And now that we have so many, you know, reviewers on tarot that have been sent the deck by the creator, they've been sent the deck by the publisher, and they don't want to sabotage that relationship, or someone who potentially is up and coming and hoping to, like, you know, receive the decks from the creators, from the publishers at some point. They're giving like all great reviews all the time for everything. So maybe I am going to be unpopular for this video that is, you know, reasonably critical, but I just feel like people should know the drawbacks and just like the disappointment, because there's so much potential. I mean, you pick beautiful cardstock, you've got like the shadow thing, yeah, I just feel like when they put this together, there were so many things that they could have done differently. And I mean, it's my fault for not, seeing the artwork and being like, okay, I'm not going to resonate with this. But I wanted to give it a chance because it had so much going for it. Um, all of my, complaints aside, if I was able to easily find the card in the guidebook, it wouldn't be so frustrating, right? And then maybe I could, like, get into the state where I'm doing readings and really, like, tuned in with my shadow self, um, and working with this. But it just, like, really pulls you out when you have to, like, struggle to find the entry. So I love the concept. I'm happy that I purchased this deck because I really want, these types of projects to be supported. Anything Scorpio, anything Pluto, that's right up my alley. So I think it needs to be said, like, what on earth were you thinking when you put together that box? And my taste in artwork aside, not having the numbers, means I'm not able to, work with this deck on a regular basis. And I was thinking I could get past the shadow puppets, like the hands or whatever this whole thing is, and work with the deck just because I was feeling so resonant with the concept of it. So this is a very honest review of the Oracle of Pluto. And I know I've said it a bunch of times, but the concept is beautiful. How the guidebook entries are written, like, I absolutely, am grateful for Aubrey Houdeshell for putting this out there into the world, right? But this running press, the publisher, how they've chosen to, manufacture this in such a way, it just, leaves so much. So I hope you enjoyed this honest review. So it's a little bit of a longer video for me. I kind of had to go on a bit of a rant. But yeah, anything Plutonian, anything like so Scorpio, I obviously want to support the project. So I trust that I have effectively, communicated this in the last 15 minutes, that I'm not mad about the concept. I'm not mad about the creator, or the creation. But yeah, just really felt called to make this honest review because I feel like that's being, the tides are turning a bit, when it comes to how much influence the creators and publishers have over, what pardon me, what gets spoken about in the reviews that we have on YouTube. So that's it for now. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you soon.